So you want to travel around the world, but maybe you're a little hesitant on the dangers that could be out there. My name's Christian. I've been to over 60 countries, and here are the top 5 safest countries that I have been to. Now, these are not the 5 most safe countries in the world, depending on statistics. These are the 5 safest countries that I have been to along my travels. I think experience weighs way more than statistics. Number 5. Portugal. And let me tell you, this is one of the safest and most relaxing countries I have ever been to. I spent 1.5 months traveling around Portugal, from Lisbon to Porto to Lagos in the south, and even a little small town where I had a car, I had a gym membership, and I became part of the community. But the whole feel of Portugal is just super relaxed, and it feels like everyone is on a vacation at all times. Actually, on the Global Peace Index, Portugal comes in as the 6th safest country. Also, the whole time I was in the country, it was full of solo backpackers, which is also a good sign. And there's also a ton of solo female backpackers, which just shows you that it's a much safer place. It's definitely a place I would recommend for safe travel. And number 4 on my list is Singapore. Now, Singapore comes in as the number 9th ranked safest country on the Global Index, and it makes sense. My time in Singapore was so incredibly safe, riding the metro, riding the buses, going out, walking at nighttime. We'd take random strolls at night around the city, and I never felt worried even when I would get lost. Something that also really helps is almost everyone speaks English, so it just gives you a little bit more of a safe feeling knowing that you can ask someone for help if you need to. It's also a great spot for kids and families. When I was in Singapore, I saw so many families walking around the city, and when you see, when you see families and little kids around, it just gives you this sense that, this place is pretty safe. Number 3 is Iceland. Now, a bunch of you probably thought Iceland was going to be number 1 on this list, and that's because almost every list on the internet has Iceland as number 1 for safety. I mean, if we're being honest, they have 1.5 murders per year. I spent 1.5 weeks in Iceland road tripping the country, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Everyone in Iceland speaks fluent English, and they're super willing to help, especially because they really are friendly to tourists, and they love that you're exploring their country. But I will say, there are some times while driving through Iceland, you are in the absolute middle of nowhere, and if it's getting dark, usually you would get scared or nervous, but in Iceland, not at all. A couple of times we stopped and asked locals for directions, and they pointed us on their way and asked if we needed any extra help. From the big city of Reykjavik all the way to the little townships that are in the northern or eastern part of the country, it's safe. Number 2, and what will be the shocker of the entire video, the country of Bosnia. Well, all of you watching right now might not even know where the country of Bosnia is. Well, Bosnia is a small little country in the Balkan region of Europe. Bosnia is ranked 58th on the Global Index for Safety, and the reason for that is the conflict in the late 90s, as well as some political turmoil in the country as of recent. Let me tell you, I spent 2 months living in the capital of Bosnia, and I road tripped most of the country. And I would go home from the bars and nightclubs at 2, 3 in the morning, and I felt so safe walking home. But what really did it for me is I would see women with headphones on at 2 in the morning walking home without a worry in the world. And speaking of the world, that is something I have never seen before. Bosnia was so safe and lovely in my opinion that I actually flew one of my best friends out to see the country. I've also told all of my friends to go see the country, and I would even bring my family to Bosnia to show them no matter what their age is. In my opinion, it's super safe, well above the rank that the Global Index gives it. And number 1 for the safest country I have ever been to, the country of Japan. Honestly, this should not be a surprise to anyone. Japan is always in the top part of the list whenever it comes to safety. I traveled for 30 days throughout Japan, and I don't think I've ever felt safer anywhere in the world. From the big city of Tokyo to the smaller cities of Hiroshima and Kyoto, and even the island of Okinawa. The whole country just follows the rules. There's no garbage anywhere. People are very willing to help you if you're in distress. If you really need help and they can't even communicate to you, they will find someone to help you. I even had police officers come up to me in Japan who just wanted to talk to me and ask me where I was from. At first I was like, oh no, what did I do? But they were just friendly and wanted to talk to the community and see what I was about. I also had so many late nights in Japan, staying out till 4 or 5 in the morning. I rode the metros alone, the buses alone. There was never a problem. Honestly, never even the feeling that there would be a problem. On the World Index, Japan ranks as number 10 in safety, but in my book, it's number one. But all right, that is my top 5 safest countries that you can travel to for if you're an experienced traveler or just a beginner. But did anything on this list surprise you? I'm pretty sure Bosnia is going to surprise a bunch. Are there a couple that you would swap in here? I know in my 6 and 7 spot, I had Switzerland and then Denmark. But let me know below what you may change. Guys, I want to thank all the Instagram, Facebook, and Patreons for making all of this travel around the world possible. And always remember, guys, travel is a privilege, so enjoy every second of it. See ya.